You are at the very bottom. Your pockets are completely empty, and the dead-end job pays barely enough to survive. Every single day in that office cubicle feels like a trap. But inside your head, a quiet decision is forming. You refuse to die in this chair. You start cutting out everything. No extra food, no cheap entertainment, no performing for others. Every single coin and low-value bill you save goes straight into hiding. It looks pathetic from the outside, but this hidden box is your secret ticket out of the dal-dal. After months of brutal saving, you finally scrape together just enough to buy a second-hand, heavily used laptop. It is slow, it is thick, and it has no luxury value. But the moment you boot it up on the floor of your bare room, you realize this isn't just a machine, it is the only weapon you have to rewrite your entire life. You boot up the machine, and the screen blindingly hits your eyes. The first week is nothing but installation errors, broken environments, and tutorials that make no sense. You spend 6 hours trying to clear a single terminal path. You feel incredibly stupid. But this is where the sorting process begins. The week quit here. It does something completely basic, something small. Nobody is cheering for you, but you realize the logic is starting to click inside your head. You are no longer just an observer. You are now a creator configuring digital structures out of pure focus. To change your reality, you first have to disconnect from the comfort of your old life, leaving behind the familiar habits, the easy routines at home. The people who knew the old version of you is the hardest cut. You step out into the cold, knowing there is no turning back. You stand at the bus stop, completely invisible. Around you, people are laughing, scrolling on their phones, and spending money they haven't earned yet to buy things they don't need. They are living in the moment, completely unaware. You watch them, completely detached, holding onto your empty pockets and your quiet vision. Every single hour at your day job feels like a test of your patience. The corporate noise, the useless meetings, the small talk, it drains your energy. But you don't fight the system with words. You use the friction of the office as fuel. Every frustrating email you reply to just makes you want your freedom even more. This isn't an overnight jump. True mastery requires absolute fortitude, the kind of quiet endurance that keeps you sitting in a dark room when nothing is working. Passion isn't about screaming out loud. It is the silent obsession that forces you to stay in the chair for 3, 4, or 5 hours straight while the rest of the world sleeps. The ultimate goal isn't just to buy a machine, it's to command your own life. You build this leverage so that one day you can step out into the streets. Look at the asset you bought with your own silent execution and know that you own your time completely. No boss, no system, no performance for others. Just raw structural freedom. First, you master Shopify development and store architecture. You don't just drag and drop basic templates. You learn to write custom logic, optimize page speed to the millisecond, and build a high-converting digital storefront that functions flawlessly under heavy traffic.
Second, you engineer the e-commerce supply chain and logistics. You figure out how to bridge the gap between global manufacturers and the end customer. You track shipping lanes, calculate real margins. Third, you configure the performance marketing and digital ads infrastructure. You stop consuming ads and start running them. You master pixel data, deployment parameters, and target custom data sets across global networks. Fourth, you study conversion rate optimization and user analytics. You look past the vanity metrics and dive straight into the data. You map user behavior as drop-off points and tweak layouts based on cold, hard psychological patterns to multiply your store's efficiency.